happening, guys? This is Lucy Polgar from Last Bastion, sponsored by Fight Division. We are here today to chat to some of the fighters down at Majestic Gym, ready for the Hitman Fight League Part 2. So the second show from Liam Harrison and Andy Howson. I'm here with Scott. I always call you Scott Skem Muay Thai. Scott Stewart on Instagram, Scott Skem Muay Thai, and we've got Dom Hill as well. So both of these guys will be fighting on the June bout. Scott, I'll come to you first. How are you feeling about being part of like such a massive one?
Made up, buzzing. Obviously, it's a massive show promoted by massive fighters, and to be honest, it's an honour to fight on a show promoted by such good people.
Yeah.
There's been loads of good feedback from the last show, so it's exciting, really exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. So the last show was incredible. I'm sure you've all seen it. The guy you're fighting was on the last show, Jay. So have you watched the performance? How do you think he did?
I've not watched it yet. I'll obviously be going out my way, watch it a bit. Probably watch it today, to be honest. Now I know exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter how his last performance was because it's his next one that matters.
Yes, I love that. So you're not really like looking too much about the past, just like focusing on what's coming next?
No, I'm performing this weekend, so he'll see that I've had a good start to the year and then see how it goes in a month.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. So I didn't realise, so where are you fighting this weekend?
I'm fighting over in Denmark in Roskilde as the co-main event for their show.
So still active in the interim between the Hitman Fight League as well?
Still keeping busy, still ready for fight, pretty much take fights when they come.
I love that. And Scott, for you as well, so you're coaching and teaching as well, like we've managed to just catch you in between classes now. How is it like finding the balance of that? Because that is really hard to be a coach and then to be fighting for such a big show. Do you feel like you've got a good balance of it?
Yeah, to be honest, I've got a good balance. I've been doing the coaching and the fighting together for 10 years now. So when it comes to my fight training, I dial down my work a little bit. I do less pad work and less one-to-ones and more time training. But it's all good because the people who are in the gym, they work well with me and they help me as much as I help them, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
and they give me loads of time. Or if it comes to a one-to-one and I go, listen, we're sparring, they go, I said we're sparring then, if that makes sense. So everyone just helps me and it works pretty well, to be honest. With being in the gym all day, every day, I've got the perfect amount of time to train, perfect chance to train. So if I can't be fit, who can?
Yeah, I love that, and it is right. Like in a way, it is actually a blessing in disguise because, like you say, if you're doing one-to-ones, you could just say, right, we're doing a bit of sparring, and then it's extra work for you. Since the last time we saw you, you have won your belt now, and it's so crazy because we've got the interview where we're like sort of like visualising that and saying like that's what's going to come next. First of all, massive congratulations. Like, how are you feeling about that? I know we're talking about the Hitman Fight League, but that is such a mega achievement. We can't not mention that on camera.
Right, yeah. That was literally the best day of my life. When I won that belt, it was literally, I felt like so full of adrenaline. I felt like I could pick the building up and throw it. Obviously, it took a couple of weeks to sink in, a couple of weeks to normalise. And then, obviously, now that I've won the belt, it's not just like, right, you've done it. It's like, right, okay, now you've won it. Now you've got to keep that up. You've got to stay the champion. You've got to train like you're having that world title fight every day. And that's how I've done it since day one. Train like everyone you're fighting is the world champion. As long as you do that. As long as I'm better than myself last time, and I know I'm better than him, I'm going to win.
I love that. Absolutely love that. That's a really good mindset to have as well. It's like you versus you no matter what. So like Dom was saying then, he's not too, obviously he will watch the fight with Jay, but not too concerned with it. Do you have the same sort of mindset like with the fights? You're not really too focused on what they've done before, you're just focusing on what's in front?
Yeah, obviously we look into the fighters a little bit, but not too much. If you get too caught up in what they're doing, you forget about what you're doing. And when me and Dom are in there doing what we do, they're not going to be able to do what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it makes no difference what they're going to do because we're going to do whatever we do.
I love that, and it seems like as well, like obviously you've got a good tie as well because you're training together, but then to be on the show together, it must be nice to like sort of have familiar faces there because like I say, this is a massive event, so it must be quite comforting to have Scott there as well.
Yeah, we've to be fair, we've fought on the same show a fair few times, and if one of us wins, one of us loses. It is what it is. We go in, we work hard together, and it's good. It's more both being on the same show's perfect because you get the training together. So it's like, we've both got to go and do this session, and you literally the days you don't want to do it, the other one forces you to, and you drag each other through it. Really, is no one wants to do a fight camp when they do it. It gets them last 3 weeks, and you're like, oh my god. It's nearly done, and then they just pick you up and get you through the last few weeks, and you just push through together.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. Push through together, absolutely. So speaking of fight camp, now you've just mentioned your fight camp. You're fighting this weekend, and then obviously the Hitman Fight League won't be two after that. So are you treating that as sort of like just one big camp with sort of fights in the middle?
To be honest, I only took this fight about 10 days ago. I got messaged on a Wednesday night, not this one, just gone, the one before, and spoke to my coaches on a Thursday, and I was like, yeah, I'll take it. A few of my fights have been short notice. I've already fought twice this year, so by Hitman Fight League, I'll be on 4 fights this year, and it'll be good start to 2023. I had a bit of a rough comeback year last year because I hadn't fought for 3 years. So I had 3 fights, 3 losses. Is what it is. This year's going to be a year undefeated. So a year of losses to a year undefeated.
Yeah, you're on a 2-fight win streak as well, aren't you?
Yeah,
2-fight win streak in Thailand. So coming back off that. So exciting year coming up, isn't it?
So you fought in Thailand as well, haven't you? We spoke about.
Dom's fought in Thailand. I've fought there.
You've been to Thailand though. I'm sure.
Yeah. I've been there a couple of times, but there was just when I was there wasn't a fight for me at the time.
Right.
If I'm his size, I'd have a fight every day, but I'm obviously not. So there wasn't as many big people over there at the time I was, so I struggled to get the fight over there.
So just talk to us a little bit. Just I will let you go. I know you have got work. Just a little bit about the difference in Thailand, because like I say, like. Everyone who's into Thai boxing, like that is like the dream to go over there and train or fight. How different is it? Like one, just with the heat, 2, that they've been brought up with that from like the absolute as soon as they're born, pretty much. Like, does it feel different from training over here?
It's a lot different. The main difference is the length of time they train for and the heat over there. Obviously, they do like 6 hours a day sometimes. You're up at 6 a.m. running 10k or however far they run. But at the same time, when I'm over here, I like to train with Thai people anyway. I train with John Pop, I train with Ben Pett, I've trained with Kareem in the past as well. Train with Chuan. A lot of my fight camp is actually done in John Pop's gym. So they're...
Guys, you can't see that on camera, but our cameraman has just absolutely smacked his head on one of the on one of the bars. So, yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, so the main difference is really the heat. So when you go to John Pop's gym and you're training with Thai people, they treat you like they treat you over there. Half an hour Shark Tank rounds of clinch, 20-minute rounds of pads, 3v1, everything. So 3v1 Shark Tank, yeah. And I like to give John Pop a bit of stick as well. I tell him it's not hard enough, and I'll kill all his fighters. So when I go there, asking for more, yeah. But the more you do, the better you're going to get. So it's one of them, isn't it?
I just love the mindset. The more you do, the better you get. I love that. So lastly, Dom, I'll just come to you. You have fought in Thailand now. Yeah. With the Hitman Fight League, one thing that they've introduced, obviously, that we've just had the show, is the live betting. So Thailand is the only other place where that's a thing. Like, how do you think, obviously you're used to that if you've already fought over there, like, how do you think that's going to affect the June show?
It makes it a lot more entertaining. I enjoy a bit of UFC, and to be honest, when I'm bored on the fights, I start throwing money on, so I actually get into the undercards and stuff. So it starts bringing reputation to other people, and you start getting favourites and knowing who's going to win you some money. And if someone wins your money, you start getting behind them a lot more, and it's just into it. And everyone just starts going mental in the crowd. Everyone's kicking off at each other and throwing hand signals. Hands are going everywhere, feet's going everywhere. But it makes it worthwhile. It makes it entertaining, and that's all it's about, innit? We're into fighting for entertainment. Yeah. If it's not entertaining, what's the point in doing it?
100%, I love that. And like I say, we've just had the show, I think it was only just last week, and it was a night literally full packed of action, and I'm sure June is going to be the exact same. So we really look forward to seeing you fight. I wish you both the best of luck, and thank you so much for giving us your time today. Thanks, guys. Cheers. Thank you.
Cheers, nice one.
Thank you. So, I know, sorry about that. I know you've got work, haven't you? Thank you.
Cheers.
Nice one.
Here we go.